Alright, what's going on, Forgotten Nation? I'm your host, FG, and today we're revisiting another look at Dig Dug Arrangement. This time, though, we're playing the arcade original that released alongside Pac-Man and Rally X as a part of the Namco Classic Collection Volume 2, way back when in 1996. Dig Dug Arrangement, as opposed to the other games, really doesn't justify it as a sequel. If anything, I would consider it a remake. If anything, though, I would choose this version over the original version. Because not only, of course, is there a solid end to the game after 50 levels, but it does more to keep the gameplay going itself, as opposed to looking at the same thing over and over again. So that includes some new abilities, some new enemies, and some extra additions such as boss fights. But the game itself, being Dig Dug, of course, can still be pretty slow. And it's for that reason that we're not going to do an entire playthrough here. If you want to see me play through the whole game itself, do check out when I played this way back when, I think it was almost 3, maybe 4 years ago, as part of the Namco Museum ports. I'll be honest, the video itself is pretty outdated, but it gets the job done. So be sure to use the eye on the top right if you want to see that happen. But we're not going to waste any time, let's go into the world of Dig Dug. Alright, so this first world is known as Mother Nature. And as you can see, it's pretty close to the original Dig Dug. Not only do you have your classic enemies such as the Pokas, the Froggers, but even the aesthetic alone looks just like it was pulled right out of the original game, but given this sweet 32-bit look. And I do say 32 because I don't think you'd be able to get these colors out of a 16-bit console. Alright, but you make the enemies go pop and you clear the stage. It's Dig Dug in its core. But alright, let's keep moving forward. So there's a total of, I believe, 50 rounds, as I mentioned before. There could be more, there could be less. Although it may not look like it here, there's a whole different section in the map as you continue to go forward. And with every section, of course, you have both classic enemies and some unique enemies. The only difference is that where you dig will always be different. Alright, keep the enemies popping. You think about it, Dig Dug as a series is pretty dark. You play as a digger who goes on this quest of genocide to destroy all these monster dwellers who are just basically living their lives under the surface. It's never mentioned what they're doing under the surface to really warrant them getting killed in the first place. Whether they're disrupting the wildlife, whether it's causing global warming, they never really specify what these monsters are doing underground to begin with. So I got a question. Are we the hero or the villain? Seriously, I really want to know. Are we the hero or the villain? Alright, but we're still moving forward. Take it one step at a time. So if the gameplay feels slow, I can only think of one way to make the game better. And that's 2 players. One of the biggest aspects with the Namco Classic Collection was playing with 2 players. The only exception to this is Xevious and Rally X. However, the other games were highly encouraged to play multiplayer. And back when I originally did this video with the Namco Museum, I originally wanted to be with one of my... Whoa! I never knew they could do that. Whoa! What? What? Does anyone know? What? I never knew... What? Okay! That happens. But, as I was talking before... Originally, when I recorded this way back when, I actually wanted to do it with one of my buddies, but they weren't available. As a matter of fact, I originally wanted to do all 3 games with them, Pac-Man, Galaga, Dig Dug, but I was only able to do it with one of them. I don't blame for it, things happen, but it was a bit of a shame that I had to do some of them alone. And if I'm being honest, I probably should have brought someone along with Dig Dug as opposed to Galaga, because Galaga... It's still pretty unique that you're able to talk more about it as the game goes on. But Dig Dug, what you see is the game throughout the entire time. It's not going to change that much to really spice up the gameplay. You're going to see the same enemies, the same gameplay, and that's a bit of a shame. That really is a shame. Aww. Alright, we're still moving forward though. Alright, keep moving. Okay, one more to go. There we go. I'm still wondering though, what just happened with the whole stage getting cleared out like that? Ugh. Alright, but anyways, now it's time for the next world. This is known as the Factory. And the Factory has a unique enemy in terms of these dynamite guys. And when you make them explode, they literally explode. so any enemies that are near them will also take damage as well. So it's a pretty good way to clear them all out at once. But we already used our first set of lives, so it's time to quarter up. Why? Alright, let's keep it going. If it sounds like I'm bashing the game too much, I don't hate Dig Dug. Far from it. But if I'm being honest, it's not going to be my go-to game out of the bunch. I'm probably going to choose either Pac-Man or Galaga, or really any of the other games before Dig Dug, because usually some of those other games are faster paced as opposed to Dig Dug. The only exceptions I'll make are probably Mappy and Xevious, because those are still kind of exactly the same as well, but other games like Pac-Man, Galaga, Rally X, there's consistently stuff going on that's changing the gameplay, whether it be certain abilities, certain level designs, or even just, I don't know. But I feel like there's something a little more interesting about those other games as opposed to Dig Dug. And when you really do think about it, I think Dig Dug Arrangements should have been in Volume 1 of the Namco Classic Collection, while they should have brought over Galaga to Namco Classics Collection Volume 2. Because that would have made a pretty core trilogy right off the bat. You have Pac-Man, you have Galaga, and you got Rally X. 3 games that feel like they are actually sequels to the series and full-fledged games in terms of design choices and looks. And overall, well, they're fun to play and are fast to burn quarters. Alright, let's keep moving forward though. So we got 2 more stages before the first boss fight, and I think we're going to call the video there. Again, I don't think we're going to do a full playthrough here, so I think it's a good idea to call it there. Because, looking back at this video, the original that is, Dig Dug was one of my most viewed videos way back when I first started doing YouTube, as well as the Forgotten Gaming series. And I'll be honest, those videos have aged pretty poorly. I've always thought about redoing many of these videos, and made an excuse for this month to redo some of them. But there's really only so much you can contribute to some of the games like Dig Dug here. But I just thought it'd be a good idea to revisit it. Alright, we're slowly approaching the end. Alright, so this stage is like a gauntlet. You can't leave these metal bars, which means you gotta let the enemies come to you. So it's a good idea to try to drill a little bit of the ground here, and get ready to unleash the rocks. Or in our case, that just spawned the giant laser! I love this laser. And the one merit I'll give this game is the boss fight that uses the ray gun. The ray gun is the best addition to Dig Dug. And part of me wishes that the player 2 actually had a different weapon as opposed to Dig Dug himself. But anyways, it's time for a boss fight. So for this boss fight, we have to use the blast enemy in order to damage the giant Poka. Poka? I think his name's Poka. Oh no, black screen. For those that don't know, my screen just turned black because when I'm recording this in Streamlabs OBS, it actually turns black after 10 minutes. Which means I can't see what's on the screen. I know you people don't care, but for me it's a pretty big issue when it comes to games like these. Alright, but quarter up. Alright. We'll get him. We'll get him. Oh, come on, come on. That's 1. We get another. Oh gosh, he's gonna walk into me. Careful. So as mentioned, this was essentially the last Dig Dug arcade game that came out way back when, 1996. But it didn't mean that Dig Dug would essentially disappear completely, because the enemy character Poka would actually make an appearance in the Pac-Man World series for major home consoles at the time. And that was pretty cool that it had even just a small cameo in form of Pac-Man. Because Pokas are pretty fun. They look like balloons that have goggles on them with tails they could light up. And I'm surprised they have never made a toy of a Poka. Though, I think they did actually in Japan only, as a part of advertising the original Dig Dug. I know they featured something like that in Namco Museum Volume 3. I gotta look back at that. But I still wonder why they haven't made like a proper toy of a Poka here in America. If there is, I would gladly buy one. Even if it's like a Happy Meal toy, kinda. It just has like an aesthetic that you don't see in like many enemies of video games today. Because Pokas are fun enemies. They have a fun look to them. But alright, that's the boss down. So, I think that's gonna do it here for Dig Dug Arrangements. Who knows, if you want me to do this into a full Let's Play? Well, not a Let's Play, a full playthrough. be sure to let me know in the comments below. And if you like the video, be sure to leave a like. I don't know, part of it is just that I really don't have too much to talk about during the game itself. And that was clear during the original take way back when. You could tell by the end, I had nothing left to say about Dig Dug Arrangement. And I do apologize for that. But I tried. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Maybe it is time we brought Dig Dug back, but I think it would have to be drastically different if it were to come back to the home market. They would have to do something to make it stand out as opposed to the other games in the series, given its slow pace. What if it was online? Maybe something like that could work.